Well, hi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me here in my shop. Today is the last day of April. And what I plan to do today with this radio is give it an alignment. It may be really the last thing I do with it. It still has some old capacitors in it, but I'm not too anxious to change them, frankly. But I think that really the very first thing is to deal with this light bulb here. So let's see what's going on. So the light that's in there, I can see the filament is open on it. It's a number 44. 44. So an awful lot of antique radios you'll find with a 47 in the socket. This one has a 44. 44 is what the schematic calls for. So it has the right light bulb in it. Got some 44s here. So a 44 draws quite a bit more power or current rather than the 47. I think this is a quarter amp light bulb here. 250 milliamps. The 47 is a 150 milliamps. So this is associated with the heater of the rectifier tube. And I know a lot of people would say, boy, you got to make sure these lights are in and working properly, because when they're not, when they're burned out, the radio doesn't operate as designed. There's a little extra current going through the heater of the rectifier. I guess a little more current there. Some of it, with the light in, is being bypassed around it. So anyway, I don't know what the case is. I didn't rush at changing this light bulb till now. So hopefully that's not a bad move. Okay, so I'm going to start up the radio and just have a listen to it to start off with. Okay, a little bit of a dim bulb moment there. No? Oh, there's the light. Ooh, is it ever dull? That's incredibly dull. That's ridiculously dull. I mean, you can't even tell it's on in the camera. Let's see how bright it gets. It's going to have a little more current in it once the B plus gets flowing. Just waiting for it to brighten up. It really is invisible. It's a little bit brighter. It looks brighter in the camera than it is. It's hardly enough light there to light anything. Makes me think a 47 might do better in there. Okay, but we have the light in place. Anyway, these are typically kind of dull. Now, let's see if the radio's operating here. I do not have the booster antenna working. This is just its own antenna. Stronger station down around 640 here. Wow, sounds like speaker distortion to me. We're all watching the flywheel of our economies wind down. That's what's happening right now. It's really pretty darn scary stuff, eh? So, I think we'll still do the alignment. We'll see, maybe that distortion will change. Kind of doubt it. Maybe we'll find out it's not the speaker. Maybe it's something else. There's still some old capacitors in there. But still, I think doing the alignment is the valid next step. So to do that, I can pump a signal into the radio through the antenna. Kind of force it in an IF signal. We can try that. We can try that first. So, I guess I better turn on my my guy here. So what I'm going to do to try to disturb the radio as little as possible is get that signal from the signal generator into the antenna without actually making a direct connection. That's what I'm going to try to do. Now, you're not really supposed to, the radio's not really supposed to be receiving IF frequency through its antenna. That's actually out of the range, but not by much, when you think about it. Bottom of the range is 530 on an AM radio. Just a short ways below is 455, the IF frequency. Okay, so I got 3 megahertz going in there right now. That's not going to do anything. I'll put this up nice and close. Easier said than done. We tune to a supposedly quiet spot. We want this to be first visible. Whoa! I wasn't quite expecting that. Dramatic a change there. Okay. It's got to be 0.455 here. That's what we got to get down to. Up to 0.455. And we'll hear what comes out. Moderately strong signal going to that coil. There it is. Is that anywhere else? So it's not a nice clear signal. Let me tune the radio so. There, but it's not very strong. Let me boost it here. It's distorted, isn't it? And it's distorted because there's a second signal in there with it. Not sure. Okay, let's do the alignment. See what happens here. Just with the ear. Just with our ears. So this hasn't been done for a while. Those are really stuck. It's right on though. There's nothing seriously wrong with the IF tuning. Okay. You can really hear that. Just should not sound like that. There should be a nice, clear signal. 1,000 hertz signal on this radio now. Not sounding like that. That's a 400 hertz signal. Yeah, there's definitely something going on with this radio still. But that's why I'm aligning it. I'm aligning it to sort of remove alignment issues as an issue. So there's 2 more trimmers up here. One is the oscillator to set the dial accuracy more or less, and the other one is just the front end antenna tuning. I might as well do them. I think the radio is pretty good actually. Let's put it on 14. I seem to remember 14 was a... I've done a number of these radios. I seem to remember 14 was a good spot. Let's go up to 14. Went right past it. A little bit surprising. Very, very weak. Wow. Well, it seems weak to me. I mean, I am putting it through this coil arrangement here, so maybe it's not really weak. Wow, that's everything I got here. I think we might be changing some more capacitors in this radio. Okay, so I'll try the trimmer, the antenna trimmer here, but I'm very, very doubtful. Bigger screwdriver for this. Very, very doubtful. Well, okay, so overall performance of this radio is pretty bad at this point. Is it the speaker or is it not? So what we're going to do is hook up another speaker. Let's see. What happened to the French station? I have to watch out now for getting a copyright hit. There. Let me get a voice on here. I got an idea. I'm going to get something set up here. Okay, here's what we're going to try. You can see I've got some clip leads hooked up to the speaker. The clip leads are hooked up to this phono cord. Phono cord's going over into a mixer box. Mixer box is going into a bigger mixer. Bigger mixer going right into the audio of the right into the audio of the video. I just check to make sure it's not there right now. So usually when I'm working in my shop, I don't wear headphones. I don't listen to the actual program material that's being recorded because it's too awkward. But I've got my headphones now because I got to hear it too. Just what you're going to hear. There's a difference here for me. For me, I can't stop listening to the speaker unless I cut one of the wires up here. So this speaker is still going, but I can turn the microphones down. You can't hear this speaker. All you're going to hear is what is coming on this wire. So the idea is the sound distorted because of the speaker, or is the sound distorted because it's distorted in the first place? So we're trying to listen to the signal that's getting to the speaker to hear if it's clear or not, and that's what should come out of here. That's what I'm up to. Okay, we're ready to try this. So I'm going to turn down the, first I'm going to turn up the radio, turn down the microphones, and then I'm going to turn up the direct feed. And we'll hear, at least I'll hear as best I can anyway, you'll hear perfectly what it sounds like. I'm not so sure about my end of it here, because this is going to be going. Okay, here we go. Speaker up a bit. Okay, mic's down.
Check it out. The Lowdown right now is about all things COVID-19 and is on YouTube. For immediate answers to any pain care needs, call Dr. Lou at 1-855-55-DRLOU. That's 1-855-55-Dr. Lou. Or visit pinpointhealth.ca. Don't miss the Pinpoint Health Show every Saturday morning at 11. And now,
this afternoon, mainly rainy today, at least this morning, and then we'll see some sun starting, and things start to warm up to the weekend, all the way up to...
Okay, so that might have been a great test for you, but for me it totally failed because the sound of the speaker is coming right to my ears, and I can't separate what I'm hearing in the headphones from what I'm hearing in the speaker. My solution could be, well, just cut the wire going to the speaker temporarily. That'll shut the speaker off. That unbalances this whole radio. It's important to have the speaker impedance present. Well, you know what I could put? I could put an 8 ohm resistor in there. I could temporarily stick, you know, an 8 or 10 ohm resistor in there, and that might really work. But I've just noticed something. Apparently the magnetic speaker can grab more than just metal stuff. It can also grab, look at that egregious spider. Oh. Look at it, looks like it's ready to grab you. Big dead spider there. Okay, get off, get off. Oh, there's either another spider or half of it stayed behind. I can't be sure. Let's see. We got to be fairly sure about this. I got to be sure about it. You already are, probably. My guess is the speaker itself is causing the distortion. If I'm going to cut the wire, I just hook up another speaker in here. Yeah, if I'm going to cut the wire, I'd skip all this. Hook up another speaker. I think I got to do it. I think that's what I got to do. Okay, do it. Let's do it. Get a speaker here. I know it has no problems. What did I do with my little extension thingies? I don't know. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Okay, we'll just take this off of here, this off of here. Put this here, paralleling the speakers for a moment won't matter. And I got to cut the wire here. So the radio's still on, the volume's turned down, so I don't think it really actually has any important bearing. Should I desolder or just cut it? Let's just cut it. Let's cut it. There's hardly any wire there to get a piece of. Oh, the insulation is stiff. It's that green colored stuff. Oh, son of a gun. Come on. Okay, speaker on. There we go. That's not on there very good. Crummy clips. Wow. Okay, works enough. What do we got?
Maybe they're having a...
May 15th. Have you heard about this? You know, we were talking about...
There's a difference. There was a distortion in the speaker.
For more money because they're not hoping they're going to have a season in September, but they need...
There's lots of noise in there, but ignore the noise. Listen to rushes that come with her voice. As her voice, it goes, there's a rush that comes with it in this speaker. Her voice is splashy. Okay, there's another test we can do here, come to think of it. We can do a direct test of the speaker. Right. I could have done that pretty much from the start. Okay, so now to cut this wire off, that actually makes the speaker available for better testing. So we're going to do some better testing directly of the speaker. I think that'll settle this finally. If the speaker's distorted, that's bad. That is bad. Speaker is one of the things you don't want to have a defect in these radios, because it's, you know, where am I going to get another speaker like that from another radio? That's kind of crazy. That's really counterproductive. Okay, I did turn the radio off. See if I can get my audio generator to generate audio. Come way back here. Sine. There we are. That's way too high. So I believe what I'm hearing is the speaker cone is vibrating, and as I turn the volume up, it vibrates more and more. And when I get to a certain point, it's banging into something, or the voice coil is starting to rub on something. Something is happening at this point when I turn it up. Let me turn it up again. Right there. Seems to click on. But it's definitely a harmonic comes in at that point. I think it's something other than what I just said. So I think that's distortion free. And once you get there, let's try it different. Let's go down. Now it's going to be a little hard to hear the speaker without the cabinet around it. It's not going to reproduce low very well, but if it makes any buzzes, we'll hear that. Huh. Okay, now can we identify anything that's causing this in the speaker that we can resolve? Is there anything about it? And wow, I don't know. I'm asking myself these questions. I don't know the answer. Is there something we can do about that? I have actually resurrected a speaker or two, amazingly enough, doing crazy stuff to it. Soaking the cone completely in water in one case, the whole cone. Is that really what I think it is? Could the other speaker do the same thing? I just don't believe so. But let's just be sure I'm not being fooled by something wrong with my signal generator. Maybe it'll do the same thing with this speaker. Way up there. And maybe it's the same deal. The speaker's being pushed a little hard at that point, maybe. But I really think we're hearing an effect from this speaker. Let's go back on it. Give it the frequency range test here. probably find out there's particular frequencies that this thing rattles away at. It hasn't got much. Can't even hear it. Could hear this one. Couldn't hear it. Can't hear this one. Same signal. Okay. Quietly now. Oh, my microphone's set. Everything okay? Sound wise? Yep. And stay below that. There's a hysteresis in that thing, you know. I turn up the volume and bzzz, bzzz. That's my demonstration of a hysteresis type thing there. You know, that almost tells me something else is resonating. It's not the speaker. Ah, can't be. Keep going. Let's go down, down, down. Yeah, gone. Can't hear it. So there's a frequency at which it kicks in. Another one. Nice spot right here. What is that? That's a high C? What is that? Sounds nice up here again. So I have a resonance. Something buzzing in here. And buzzing again in here. So that's not really the frequency we're listening to. That's the buzz of the frequency. That's a harmonic of the bass frequency here that I'm actually feeding this thing. Oh my gosh, what can we do about this? Let's see. Let me turn it down. Get the buzz to... and see if I can get rid of the buzz. I'll put it on a hair trigger here. Bring it on. Back. Oh my gosh, you hear that? Not supposed to do all that stuff. Shaky finger. Very different. That sounds normal. That sounds normal now. And that kills it. As if this releases the rub. This forces the rub to the point where the speaker starts stalling. So there it is. Proof positive. Right all through this. How the heck am I going to deal with this? Okay, I have a long shot solution for this kind of problem. Solution is the right word for it. And I'm going to try it because I don't think I can make this radio worse doing it. I may not help it, but it may not make it worse. And this is the crazy thing I'm going to do. I'm going to stand this radio up on its back like this. So the speaker cone is up like this, even with the repairs on it. I am then going to soak this whole cone with water. And then I'm going to leave it to dry. God help us. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I've done this a couple times now and it's worked. It's amazing to me because I can't believe it's going to work. That's a bit of a big brush, isn't it? A littler brush. Okay. I get a little bit of water here. Okay. Now, this will either totally wreck this radio, it will never be usable afterwards, or somehow beautiful sound will return. Does anybody want to bet on this one? Because I've done this twice and it's worked. How in heaven's name this works? I mean, I can take a guess, right? It makes the cone relax. But you'd think, well, it can just relax into an even worse condition or position or whatever. This doesn't seem like a wise move, does it? Now, what about all this stuff here? I mean, I'll just do it. Who knows? That's pretty soaked. Yeah, if I hadn't read this, I would never believe this would be a smart thing to do. In fact, I still don't think it's a smart thing to do. I think this is a dumb thing to do, but okay, she's soaked. I don't think I can get more into it. It's probably dripping out the bottom now. So we're going to let that sit just like that, and it's going to just all on its own fix itself. That's my hope. Good luck. We'll see. I'll come back and, well, it's going to be an hour or two before this dries up, I would think. Okay, so I guess maybe an hour's gone by or so. Just trying to feel if it's still damp. It feels pretty dry. Let's give it a try. See what happens. Maybe I could just leave it like this. Just like this, but no, I want to test it with my with the audio signal generator. We will see what has happened here. Okay, wagers. What would you wager on this working? So because I've done it a couple of times and it's kind of worked, I might throw a whole dime out on this. But frankly, I think it's a losing bet. I just can't imagine that this actually works. But let's give it a try. Okay, here we go. Can you believe it? That actually worked. No. A little bit way up there. Come on, really? Well, I think it's greatly improved. It has no spots anymore. Let's go a little louder. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is number 3. It's the 3rd time I've done this. This crazy idea, and it's worked. It seems to have worked. Got to play the radio now and see what it really sounds like. So let's take these off. I can't believe it. Really. Of all the crazy things you read on the internet, here's one that actually works. Now, I should reconnect this. I'm just going to do a very temporary thing here. I'm just going to grab this clip lead. There's a better one. Okay. Volume down. Power on. Dim bulb in sight. Light. Maybe you should put a 47 in there, but so a 47 instead of a 44 will only draw half as much, almost half as much, a little more than half as much current. Maybe some numbers would be good there, Jim. So this is supposed to draw 1/4 of an amp, 250 milliamps, and a 47 would be 150 milliamps. I think it'd be a lot brighter. Okay, are we ready? And what are we going to listen to? We're going to listen to, so I'll be able to fire a signal in with this. Let's just listen to it for what it is.
That's right, exactly. We put a stop to it just out of fear, and my brother and I can help my mom out.
I'd say it's a lot better.
But this person, these people are so valuable. Apart from what they do, it's the mental interaction they have with their clients.
We're going to give it a strong signal to work with that won't have any hiss or crackle in it. So to do that, I'm going to put this right on the antenna here. Okay, ground going to the chassis here. Good. That should essentially short the antenna out. And the only signal it's going to hear, pretty much, is what's coming out of here. Okay, so we're tuned to. Let me tune it up around. So you can't see it. This says 1460 here. Is that half of it? I picked this up in a lot of places. Probably because I'm driving it with much too high. Yeah, actually, it's getting hit with a blaster of a signal here. I don't know. Let's take this ground off here. There, that's a little more what I want, I think. I only have 2 frequencies to test a radio with from my signal generator, and that's 400 we're hearing now, and 1000. There is a way for me to put an audio. So yeah, let me stop the video for a minute. Get a little bit of equipment going here. So what I've got going now is I've got this sweep generator sweeping an audio signal into the external input of this RF generator, producing the sweeping sound that you can hear. Sweeping audio. I've got it starting quite low and then going up to 15K. I think it's starting. Where's it starting? Let's see where it's starting here. 370 hertz. So I'm going to slow down the sweep and we'll listen to it. Disappears around 8K. Okay, that's fine. So as it goes up in pitch, you don't hear any funny business. Just nice, consistent, going up all the way nice and smooth. I don't hear any funny buzzes or anything. Thumbs up on soaking that speaker. And this is going right through the radio now. The radio is receiving this as a radio signal. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to concentrate on sweeping more of the low sounds because it's just not really reproducing the low sounds the way I'd like it. So we snap this down like this. Now we'll be starting, this is 300, 400, 500, 600, so we're starting quite low. And it's going to go up to, let's speed it up. You can hear it now. Okay, slow it down again. It's perfect. Perfect enough for a radio like this, that's for sure. Okay, so we've overcome the speaker problem. Ooh, man alive. So I think one more good, strong listening test is warranted. And let me grab the antenna here. So take this off. So this goes to an outdoor antenna that's not switched on right now. And we're going to try hooking this right up to the radio, so nothing else is grounded to it. Rather than try to impress the signal on the antenna, I'm going to hook it straight on. And that got pretty quiet. Not supposed to get quiet. Now there's really, I think the antenna switch is let me go throw the switch. I'll turn this down this time a little bit. Be right back. Okay. Sounds louder. Noises. I'm searching for the French station at 860. It's a no-show. Okay, let's go down here. 680. 640. Antenna off. Isn't that different? Wow. Okay, I'll try and impress my outdoor antenna signal onto the antenna here with this crazy thing. I am now going to monkey with the radio. Wrong screw. $860. I'd say it's about there. Oscillator. RF antenna again. So you should be doing the antenna adjustment up at the high end of the band, but it doesn't make much difference anyway. There we are. Still using the booster. And this is a weak signal. We'll go down to a stronger one now. We'll go down to a stronger one.
No, but CDs are still a very big thing. They still outsell in terms of numbers the vinyl in Canada.
640? Yep.
And,
Twiddling the IF again.
This past year, on both sides of the border, has been the new Weekend album. That really boosted sales. But although they are going down on a week-by-week basis, year over year, they are still selling. People still buy CDs, and they buy a lot more CDs than they buy vinyl. However, in terms of dollar value in the United States, more dollars are spent on vinyl now, or at least to the end of 2019, than dollars spent on compacts.
Get out of here, really?
I'm getting into vinyl at the cottage. I brought the full record collection up there. And I have to say, it's a laborious love affair because I'm going to sound pretty lazy here, but you get to the end of side one.
So while I'm doing this, I'm listening to the bass in their voice and the treble, and I'm trying to pay attention to what's happening to the bass and the treble separately.
Live in your underground bunker. It's something called, is it Alan's Vinyl Library? What's going on?
Yeah, so this is at 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's a massive experiment. Using Zoom, everybody seems to be using Zoom. And I'm going to sit in front of my computer and pull up some stuff from my vinyl collection and show it to anyone who shows up. If you want the information, you can go to Alan at alancross.ca and I'll send it to you.
So this is for the ultimate music fan, the fan that wants to get into music discovery, because that's what you're all about. And I've argued this for years. As soon as when you
Where'd he go? Where'd it go? What happened there? It's really very poor performance on its own. It's Not so bad with a booster. Try again here. Just a tiny amount of boost. Not enough to do anything. I thought I heard it there for a moment. Didn't I hear it? His voice? What happened there? So I think what was happening was the place I was connecting this is affecting the antenna negatively. And now I'm connecting it to another terminal here, one that's really intended for an extra antenna wire to be hooked up. From this terminal, there's a capacitor that goes down, and then there's a terminal in the back. So really, you would connect through this capacitor to this terminal. And I think ultimately you're connecting to the bottom of the coil or something like that. So anyway, that gives a good antenna connection.
Okay, what did Tom Morello say about the kids filling in the name of?
Posted on social media with the caption, "Preach system."
590. Trouble on 680. So the station 680 has a noise signal right adjacent to it, like about 3 kilohertz away, and it's really tricky to pick it up. It's a great test in my shop here. This radio's not doing the best job of it. You kind of hear it there. Yeah, nothing's going to make a difference. So a better radio would have another tube in the front of this radio. So it would be basically this radio with an additional stage in front, tuned stage called an RF stage, and that would improve this radio a lot. But this is not intended to be a radio you fish out weak signals, far away. This is meant to be listening to local, strong broadcast stations. This kind of radio. So I think it's really performing pretty much where it would have performed when it was brand new. I betcha. The big difference would be back in the day there wasn't computers producing all kinds of hash and noise on the AM radio band, and so a weaker radio had a fairly good chance of getting a clear signal, whereas today not quite the case. So these old radios are really suffering from the modern environment. I think I've reached the end with this one though. I don't think I'm going to change the remaining capacitors. Can't see that it's going to improve that much. And I'm pretty happy with the way it works now. So I think that's it for this guy. So thanks a lot for watching the series. I'm not a 100% guy. I don't strive for 100%. I find that to be kind of a frustrating way to go in life. I'd be happy if I got 75 on a test in school. I'd be pretty happy with that. So, even though there could be a little more to go with this, I just don't think it's worth it. I have other radios to mess around with, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So, you know what I'll do? I'll put it back in the cabinet and we'll get one last look at it and one last play on it too. That'd be a good idea. I'll do that. Okay, I got it back in its cabinet. I looked for some better knobs to put on it. These are not the right knobs for sure, but I actually don't have any that will do a better job than these, so I put those back on. The cabinet here, Bakelite cabinet, what I do with these is as little as possible. I wash them with water, no soap. This one, like I mentioned before, is in really good shape. You can see the reflective surface here is still very, very reflective. What happens with these radios, if you wash them with some kind of soap that's too aggressive, it'll just take the shine right off them, and it's not coming back. If you do any vigorous cleaning, any kind of abrasive cleaning on this, it's downhill. So I just do water and not much else. You can still see some, looks like tape here. I couldn't get this off. I don't care about it. We'll leave that for the next person who's going to own this radio. Let's see if it works. Switch is off. Power on. Here we go. Oh. Make it more exciting here. Here we go. Oh, you see that? Wasn't that something? And that's about it for the dial light. This is always the tense part for me. Put my own note on the back to add all these others. Here we go. Wow. Who's making that noise? Okay, so French station wiped out here. What's that? Where did that come from? What happened? Dirt in the capacitor? Come on. I don't know what that is. That sounds terribly distorted to me. How did we end up with that?
Flight data and voice recorders were recovered.
Right back to the way it was.
A flight is being sent to recover these recordings and to bring them to the National Research Center for analysis. An investigation
sticks on something. Nothing in there. Doesn't it sound fairly clear now?
Some flooding on the roadway as well, so traffic is getting forced into the express lane. Good news in town though, westbound Dixon Road was blocked at Royal York because of the crash. That's been cleared away. Vulnerable women and girls need shelter, crisis support, and programs now more than ever. Support them through COVID-19. Visit CanadianWomen.org.
Yeah, still in trouble.
I'm Richard Martin with Global News Radio, 640 Toronto, Chopper Traffic. Let go from your job? Find out everything before you sign anything. Call Lior Samfiru, 1-855-821-5900 or...
So what happens? I put it in the cabinet. Does it push it back or something?
Have you heard the recent news about rising debt levels for Ontarians? Goldhar has and suggests that you act now. Call Goldhar now at pound debt. That's pound 3328 on your mobile phone. Or visit Ontarians.ca. Take action and be debt free today. Meet with the Goldhar Associate and get a debt. Call pound debt. That's pound 3328. Goldhar and Associates. Licensed insolvency trustee. Goldhar. We help. Stop the spread. COVID-19 can be deadly. The time to act is now. Everyone must do their part to stop the spread of COVID-19. Stay at home. Period. Full stop. Only go out if absolutely necessary. That means for groceries, for medications, for medical appointments, or if you provide an essential service. Protect yourself and others. Stay home. For information, visit ontario.ca/coronavirus. Paid for. Government of Ontario. Staying home? Get healthy. Call Harvey Booker Weight Loss for Men. Open online and now 40% off. 416.
Yeah, there still is that distortion in it, in the speakers. Not 100%. My soaking job wasn't a 100% solution, but I think this is about as good as this radio is going to get. It's good enough that somebody could own it. They like the look of it. Friends come over. Oh, look at my neat radio. Oh, does that work? Yeah. Watch. Click it on. On comes the voice. Nobody's going to sit and listen to this. No one's going to use it as a regular, daily radio. That's not going to happen. His friends will be impressed. Wow, that actually works. As long as they can pick up one or two stations, reasonably well. And I think that's where this is. Nobody's going to want to use this as a regular listening radio. What's attractive about it is its cute little size. It's it's a simple looking, attractive radio. It's a classic for this part of, at least here in Ontario, maybe across Canada this was a common radio. So a lot of people my age will have seen one of these back in the day. Of course, I was a very small kid then. Most kids are small. Okay. Well, I think that's going to be it. I'm not going to bother testing it again. It's going to sound the same as it just did. But it's on its way. It's going to have a life. It's going to have a life. And the last thing we will observe is the classic paint spots. Yes, all good radios have paint specks on them. If they don't have paint specks, they haven't had a real radio life. So thanks a lot for watching the series. And hey, I got to get another radio in here. See ya.